Hi, my name is Phil Anderson, and I'm running for United States Senate to represent Wisconsin. A brief word on the incident yesterday at East Town Mall. Now, I don't know what happened inside, so I don't have the best perspective on what happened outside. All I saw is the video, and I'm not apologizing for my opinion on it. I do believe, and I did speak to a few members of the law enforcement community off the record today in Madison, who the majority of whom concurred with me that despite the fact that the crime was likely committed and threats likely made inside the mall, that the young lady was treated with excessive force. But we have to look at the larger picture too. People in the black community here in Madison and Dane County quite often don't feel protected nor respected by law enforcement. Looking back to the Tony Robinson incident, other incidents, the disproportionate rate of incarceration of blacks in Dane County, the opposition to Madison Prep, the school that Kaleem Care wanted to start, the opposition by the teachers union, all of these things, rightly or wrongly, create an atmosphere where people of color don't trust the authorities here. And to be honest, that's probably the authorities' fault in the way things have been handled. Everything from school policy to drug enforcement policy to housing policy over the last 40 years has led to a situation now where people are distrustful because they're not being treated the same, and they have numbers to back it up. Even if they feel that way, that's one thing, but the numbers, the incarceration rate, the poverty rate, the graduation rate, all of these things back that up. So there's a larger problem that is manifest in the way that people react to the situation like that happened yesterday, where a young lady was apprehended outside the mall rather roughly. We need to look at a total view of this in a way to not solve it. It's going to be very difficult to solve in the short term, but we need to look at the government's role in our lives, and in particular in the lives of African Americans, people of color, other historically disadvantaged populations, because even though the Civil Rights Act and other social legislation was passed in the 60s, things haven't gotten a whole lot better for blacks in Dane County or in America. We need to look at whether government is the answer, trying to level the playing field, trying to manipulate situations, and look more towards, in my opinion, that natural love and respect that people have for one another when they're allowed to live freely. Because certainly the resentment of people in the situation yesterday boils over. Maybe it's the resentment of the police. I know a lot of them don't like enforcing certain laws. Even Chief Koval himself gave a talk against the drug war to the Young Americans for Liberty chapter here at UW, I think it was in December. So certainly there's a lot of interference and skewing of relationships between the people that live in Madison and Dane County and the people that are responsible for keeping the peace. It's a much larger context. Yesterday was an example of how things can go wrong. Resentment leading to further conflict. We need to do something about that. In my opinion, as a libertarian, and how I will serve you in the United States Senate, is to try and get rid of those laws that divide us, those laws that play identity politics, those laws that seek to help, but in the end end up controlling different populations, different identities among us. Let's get rid of that. Let's just remember that we're all people, and that all people in America and across the world basically want the same things, and that is to live in peace, prosperity, and privacy, to have their own lives to guide, to have their own livings to earn, to have their own families to keep, their own privacy, their own castles, so to speak. Those are the sort of things that I will fight for and that I will support as a U.S. Senator, and hopefully, at least over time, I hope that they'll make a difference, even all the way down the ladder to Madison, Wisconsin, so that incidents like this are much fewer and much more far between. Thanks, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.